All right, Nick, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. This is a team coming into the offseason. They had some salary cap struggles, but with the addition of the new salary cap this year, a lot of money infused into the Saints economy, they were able to add some key players to this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. While everybody is talking about the addition of a guy like Chase Young, he's the bigger name. I think one guy in particular on this Saints defense is really going to help them in some places they were deficient. Let's get into this article and we'll talk more about it on the other side. Information in this article is provided by PFF. It says last season the worst two aspects of the Saints' defense were run defense at a 63 grade and tackling a 61.6 grade. The addition of new linebacker Willie Gay meets both of the run defense 71.3 grade and tackling. He had 13 games of 75 plus tackling grades last season. It meets both the deficiencies of the Saints defense. Everybody has been talking about the Chase Young addition, which really only adds to the pass rush, but Willie Gay will help this defense the most where they were weak last year, and I think that is going to be huge going forward. I'm going to pull up the Saints defense grades from last year, and as you can see clearly, run defense a 63 grade, tackling 61.6 grade. Those are the lowest. Pass rush pretty good, 69 grade, and coverage phenomenal, 90.3 coverage grade last season. Overall, the defense not too shabby. But I think the addition of a guy like Willie Gay coming into this defense is really going to help out the Saints in a few places where they were kind of deficient last year. We're talking about run defense, we're talking about tackling. This is the Saints defense. Traditionally, they've had some really great linebackers. Pete Werner's good, Demario Davis is good, but adding in a guy like Gay, I think is going to really take them to the next level. They now have one of those elite linebacking cores in the NFL that I think is going to be very, very important going forward, getting this team back to the level it was. I think this offense, there's a lot of interesting things that can come through the draft. We're going to see what is going to happen there. I think it has a lot of good points on it, but I think we're going to have to see how it goes to the draft. But this defense has always been very good, and adding a guy like Gay to help out where they are the most deficient last year is going to take them to the next level. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this one, but Saints fans, in the comment section below, let us know, what do you think is going to happen in the draft? It is just a few weeks away. There's a lot of interesting points, but let us know, who do you think the Saints are getting with their first pick in the draft? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this underrated pickup of Willie Gay?
Yeah, I think it's one of those moves that, again, like you alluded to, doesn't make the headlines, the talking heads on TV, don't spend a lot of effort on it. But it's one of those really great decisions for a lot of reasons, especially addressing those deficiencies. And I want to dive into what that means a little bit more. If you look at the contenders, the winning teams, and teams that made the postseason in 2023, if you look what a lot of them have in common is that some of them may be bad at run defense, but they're great at tackling. Some of them may be really bad at tackling, but great at run defense. But you noticed almost every contender, with the exception of the Kansas City Chiefs, that's where it's interesting. They're about middle of the pack. But again, Patrick Mahomes cures a lot of issues there. Nobody can be bad at both. Nobody can be below average at both. The Detroit Lions, for example, they were one of the worst tackling teams according to PFF. So were the Los Angeles Rams. Both of them top 8 in run defense, right? You've got to be at least average to above average in both. You can't be really deficient in run defense and tackling. If you do that, you're not going to stand a chance, again, according to PFF. So I love the fact the Saints are using a little money ball tactics here, right? Understanding to address certain weaknesses. You're never going to turn a weakness or a deficiency into an absolute strength. But if you can get an area that's not a very good part of your team and just get it up to average to above average, that gives you a lot of opportunity to make big leaps. Those are the moves, right? You just don't want to be bad anywhere. If you can be solid everywhere, you're going to have a chance to really be successful. And here's another element about this move I really like. So overthecap.com, great website, highly recommend it. What they do is they look at every single player and they evaluate them based on their age, production, position, a bunch of other variables, and they assign a valuation to that player. They sit there and say, okay, this player should cost, based on all these factors, X dollars against your salary cap. So Willie Gay, according to overthecap.com, they give it a 2023 valuation of $2.7 million. His cap hit against New Orleans this season, $3 million. So again, that's even with the inflated cap. So not only did they get a player in Willie Gay to address a key deficiency and bring it up to average to above average, they also got him at a steal. Those are the moves right here, getting a player to address a weakness at an incredible discount. That's a really great work by Mickey Loomis in the Saints front office. I know there's been a lot of criticism levied at the Saints over the past few years, how they've handled things, some of the moves they've made, but a decision like this, paired with the Chase Young addition, could have a big impact come the 2024 regular season.
Yeah, Nick, and you brought it up. Willie Gay, a 1-year, $3 million deal. That's pretty good as far as like even salary-wise. Fair salary for him and a player that's going to address a lot of needs. And I'm not saying that Chase Young as a pickup is bad. I think he's going to be a great player for the Saints, but I just think Willie Gay is adding a lot more to this team. When you look at a guy like Chase Young, that 1-year, $13 million deal, then you look at the stats that Chase Young brings to this team. We're talking about run defense. We're talking about tackling. Those are the two skills we're looking at right now. Chase Young, a 63 run defense grade, a 48 tackling grade. He's great at pass rush, 75 almost pass rushing grade. Very good at pass rush. But I just think that people aren't giving enough credit to the Saints for picking up a guy like Willie Gay, and like you alluded to, at a very fair deal for his services as well. I think Chase Young, great player, but I want people to pay more attention to Willie Gay down the stretch because I think he's going to be a very valuable player and a player that is well worth the money that they spent on him.